The market stank of sweat, oil, and fear. Captain Terry pulled her breathing mask tighter over her face holes. She did not like coming to this dirty trading post at the edge of space, but today she needed something special. Terry stood tall among the crowd. Her blue skin shimmered under the dim lights. 4 golden rings on her neck showed her high rank in the Vesperan Collective. Other aliens moved out of her way as she walked. They knew not to touch a Vesperan officer. "Captain Terry, what brings such a fine lady to my humble shop?" A fat, green alien with 6 eyes bowed low. This was Orcs, the most famous pet seller in the station. "I got promoted," Terry said in a flat voice. "I need something to show my new status." Orcs rubbed his hands together. "I have many fine pets. Perhaps a singing bird from Altair, or a color-changing lizard from—" "No," Terry cut him off. "I want something rare, something that will make other officers jealous." Gorks's eyes all blinked at once. He lowered his voice. "I have something very special, very expensive. Just came in yesterday." He led Terry to a back room. The air was cleaner here. Along the walls, force fields created cages of light. Most were empty. But in the corner cage, a creature sat on a small bench. It had pale skin and dark hair. 2 arms, 2 legs. It wore simple gray clothes and looked at Terry with clear brown eyes. "A human," Terry said. She had never seen one up close before. Yes, a male specimen. Young and healthy. Captured near the Earth defense line. Gorks tapped a screen, and information appeared in the air. "They call him June." Terry walked closer to the cage. The human didn't back away. He watched her with a steady gaze. "Can it understand us?" Terry asked. "No, but humans learn quickly. This one seems smarter than most." Gorks pressed a button, and a shock made the human flinch. "See, already learning to respect its betters." Terry frowned. "Don't damage my property before I've bought it." The human's eyes widened slightly at her words. Terry wondered if he understood more than Gorks thought. "How much?" she asked. Gorks named a price that would buy a small spaceship. Terry didn't blink. "Half that," she said. "The war with humans is going badly. Soon the market will be flooded with them." This was a lie, but Gorks didn't need to know that. They argued for 10 minutes before settling on a price. "I'll take it now," Terry said. She pressed her palm to a scanner, and money moved from her account to Gorks. Gorks lowered the force field. "Stand, human," he ordered, making simple gestures. The human, June, stood slowly. He was shorter than Terry, but still taller than many species. He kept his face calm, but Terry could see his hands were tight fists at his sides. Gorks put a silver collar around June's neck. "The control is simple. This button for punishment, this one to track location." Terry took the small remote. "Follow," she said to June, making a waving motion with her hand. To her surprise, June nodded once. He followed her through the market, walking 1 step behind her left shoulder like a well-trained guard. People stared. Humans were rare pets. Most had never seen one. "You'll be the talk of the capital," Gorks called after them. "That one has spirit. Break him gently." Terry didn't answer. She led her new pet to her private ship. Inside, she pointed to a small room. "You stay there," she said slowly, pointing again. June looked at the room, then back at Terry. For a moment, something flashed in his eyes. Anger, intelligence, determination. Then it was gone. He stepped into the room without a word. Terry closed the door and set a course for home. She had just spent a fortune on this pet. He better be worth it. Terry's home on Vespera Prime was large and empty. Glass walls looked out over the purple mountains. Robot servants kept everything clean and perfect. Now this perfect home had a new addition. June stood in the middle of the main room, looking around with curious eyes. He wore new clothes Terry had given him. Simple black pants and a white shirt. The silver collar still shone around his neck. "This is where you will live," Terry said slowly, making big hand motions. She pointed to a small room off the main area. "You sleep there." June nodded. "Thank you," he said in clear, if accented, Vesperan. Terry's neck rings flashed in surprise. "You speak our language?" "A little," June said. "I listen. I learn." This was unexpected. Gorks had said the human didn't understand them. Either Gorks was wrong, or Jun was very good at hiding his skills. "Sit," Terry ordered, pointing to a low chair. June sat down, his back straight, his eyes never leaving her face. This was not how pets usually acted. They cowered. They pleased. They obeyed with fear. June obeyed, but with a quiet dignity that made Terry uncomfortable. "I am having important guests in 7 days," Terry said. "You must learn proper behavior by then." "What is proper behavior?" June asked. "Don't speak unless told to. Keep your head down. Follow orders quickly." Terry paced as she spoke. "You are here to show my status, to make others jealous." June was quiet for a moment. Then he asked, "Why do Vesperans keep other beings as pets?" The question shocked Terry. Pets did not ask why about anything. "Because we can," she said coldly. "Because we are the most advanced species in this part of space." "Advanced technology does not mean advanced morals," June said quietly. Anger flashed through Terry. She reached for the punishment button on the remote but stopped herself. The human was just ignorant. He didn't understand how things worked. "You will learn your place," she said, "or you will be sold to someone less kind than me." For the next 3 days, Terry tried to train June. She taught him how to serve drinks, how to stand silently in the corner, how to bow to high-ranking visitors. June learned everything quickly, but there was always something wrong in how he did things. He bowed, but not low enough. He served drinks, but looked guests in the eye. He stood silently, but somehow his silence felt like judgment. On the 4th day, Terry found June reading one of her books. "Who said you could touch that?" she demanded. June closed the book carefully. "I'm sorry. I wanted to learn more of your language." "Why?" "To understand." June looked directly at her. "To understand why someone who seems intelligent would think owning another thinking being is right." No one talked to Terry this way. Not even other Vesperans of her rank. "You are very bold for a pet," she said. "I am not a pet," June replied calmly. "I am a human. I was a teacher on my world." This was new information. A teacher. Of what? History. The study of the past to understand the present. Despite herself, Terry was curious. "And what does your history teach about situations like yours?" June's eyes held hers. "That they never last forever." Something cold moved down Terry's back. Was that a threat? A prediction? She couldn't tell. What she did know was that June was unlike any pet she had ever seen, and that made him dangerous or fascinating. Maybe both. 2 weeks passed. June now moved around Terry's home with ease. His Vesperan speech improved each day. He no longer needed simple words or big gestures to understand. One evening, Terry found him looking at the pictures on her wall screen. "What are these shapes?" June asked, pointing to the swirling patterns. "Vesperan art," Terry said. "The most famous pieces in our history." June tilted his head. "They're all the same style. All perfect math patterns." "Of course. Art must be perfect to be valuable." June smiled slightly. "Human art is different. We value the imperfect, the emotional." Terry sat down, curious despite herself. "Show me." June asked for paper and drawing tools. Terry had her house system make them. Then June began to draw. His hand moved quickly over the paper. When he finished, he held up a picture of a human face. It was simple but powerful. The eyes looked sad and hopeful at the same time. "This is not perfect," Terry said. "No, but it makes you feel something, doesn't it?" Terry couldn't deny it. The face in the drawing seemed to look into her. "What else do humans value?" she asked. Over the next days, They talked for hours. June told her about human music that used sounds that didn't match perfectly, about human stories that ended sadly, about human families that stayed together by choice, not by law or duty. "Your people sound chaotic," Terry said. "We are," June agreed. "But in chaos, there is freedom." In return, Terry explained Vesperan ways. She told him about the 5 castes: thinkers, soldiers, makers, workers, and servers. How each person was born into their place and stayed there. "I am born to the soldier caste, but rose to officer rank," she said proudly. "Few do that." "But you cannot become a thinker, even if you wanted to?" June asked. "No, that would be against nature." June frowned. Who decided this nature? Terry had no answer. No one asked such questions on Vespera. One day, Huna, Terry's personal servant, came to clean the home. Huna was from the server caste, with 2 neck rings and green-gray skin. "Captain," Huna said, bowing very low, "I must prepare for your guests tomorrow." "Yes, go ahead," Terry said, hardly looking at her. June watched this exchange with dark eyes. When Huna left, he spoke. "She is like me, a thinking being treated as less." "No," Terry said quickly. "Huna is Vesperan. She has her proper place, a place she cannot leave, a place that says she is not equal to you." Terry stood up, angry now. "Our system works. It has kept peace for 10,000 years. At what cost?" June asked quietly. That night, Terry could not sleep. June's words bothered her. She had never questioned the way things were. Why should she? The system favored her. She had power, wealth, respect. And yet, something felt wrong now. Like a perfect math pattern with one line out of place. The next morning, she found June helping Huna carry heavy cleaning supplies. "What are you doing?" Terry demanded. Huna dropped to the floor in fear. "Forgive me, Captain. I did not ask the pet to help." "Stand up, Huna," June said gently. "You did nothing wrong." Terry was shocked. Pets did not give orders, and servers did not take orders from pets. But the strangest thing was that Huna did stand up, looking at June with confused wonder. Something dangerous was happening in Terry's perfect home. Something that broke all the rules she had lived by. And the most dangerous part was that Terry found herself wanting to learn more. The day of Terry's important party came and went. Her guests had been impressed by her rare human pet. June had played his part well, serving drinks, standing quietly, speaking only when asked direct questions. But Terry had not enjoyed showing him off as she thought she would. A week later, Terry woke to strange sounds. She went to June's room and found him shaking in his sleep area. His skin was hot and wet. His breathing came fast and shallow. "June." Terry touched his shoulder. "What's wrong?" June opened his eyes, but they looked cloudy. "Cold," he whispered. "So cold." But his skin burned under her touch. This was wrong. Terry called for the medical system. "Human illness detected," the computer said. "Recommendation: dispose of pet and replace." "No," Terry said sharply. "How do I treat him?" "Unknown. Human biology, not in standard database." Terry paced the room. The smart choice was to follow the computer's advice. Sick pets were disposed of. It was cleaner, safer, and cheaper than trying to save them. But she couldn't do it. Not to June. For 3 days, Terry stayed by June's side. She skipped important meetings. She ignored calls from her commander. She learned how to cool June's body when it got too hot, how to help him drink when he was awake, how to clean him when he couldn't move. Huna helped too, bringing special foods that might be good for humans. "Why do you care for him this way, Captain?" Huna asked on the 3rd day. Terry didn't answer. She didn't know how to explain the tight feeling in her chest when she thought June might die. It wasn't logical. It wasn't proper. Pets could be replaced. But June couldn't be replaced. On the 4th day, Jun's fever broke. He woke fully and saw Terry sleeping in a chair beside him. "You stayed," he said, his voice rough. Terry woke with a start. "You're awake. How do you feel?" "Weak, but better." Jun studied her face. "You look tired." "I'm fine. You took care of me." It wasn't a question. Terry stood and straightened her uniform. "Yes. Well, you were expensive. I didn't want to waste the money." But they both knew it was more than that. Later that day, as Joan rested on a couch in the main room, Terry received a call from another officer. She took it in the next room, but Jun could still hear. "Captain Terry, you missed the strategy meeting," the voice said. Commander Drax was not pleased. "I was dealing with a personal matter," Terry said. "The rumor is that you were caring for your pet." The voice sounded disgusted. "Is this true?" Terry's neck rings flashed with anger. "My actions are my own business, Officer Keogh. Not when they break social rules. Pets are property. Treating them like equals is against our ways." "I did not treat him as an equal," Terry lied. "I protected my investment." After the call ended, Terry stood still for a long time. What Officer Keogh said was true. Caring for a pet personally was seen as low and shameful. Only the server caste should do such work. And there was something worse, something she had not admitted even to herself. When Terry looked at Jun, she felt things no Vesperan should feel for a human. She admired his mind. She enjoyed his company. She worried for his health. She was starting to care for him, not as a pet, as a person. If anyone found out, she would lose everything, her rank, her home, her future, and Jun would be taken away, probably killed. These feelings were more than wrong. They were dangerous. 2 weeks after Jun recovered, Terry had to host another, bigger party. This one would have the highest officers from her unit, including Commander Drax himself. "You must be very careful tonight," Terry told Jun as she adjusted his new black serving clothes. "Drax does not like humans. He thinks they should all be study subjects, not pets." "You mean he wants to cut us open to see how we work?" Jun said flatly. Terry winced. "Yes, so please, act simple. Don't show how smart you are." "I will play my part," Jun promised. But his eyes were hard. Guests began to arrive. Vesperans of all ranks filled Terry's home. Most wore the gold neck rings of the soldier caste. They talked about battles and ships and weapons. Jun moved among them with drinks. He kept his eyes down. He spoke only when spoken to, and then with short, simple words. He played dumb perfectly. Until Commander Drax arrived. Drax was tall, even for a Vesperan. He had 6 neck rings, the most Jun had ever seen. His blue skin was darker than Terry's, almost purple. His eyes were cold. "Captain Terry," Drax said as he entered, "your home is acceptable." This was high praise from Drax. Terry bowed her head. "Thank you, Commander." Drax's eyes fell on Jun. "So this is your famous pet. I've heard much about it." Jun kept his eyes down. "Show me what it can do," Drax ordered. "Jun, bring the commander a drink," Terry said. Jun did as he was told, his movements perfect and smooth. He handed the drink to Drax with a low bow. Drax took a sip, then suddenly threw the rest of the drink in Jun's face. Terry gasped. The room went quiet. Jun stood still, the blue liquid dripping down his face and onto his clothes. His eyes stayed on the floor. "Interesting," Drax said. "Most would flinch or show anger." "Jun is well trained," Terry said, her voice tight. She wanted to help Jun, to clean his face, but she couldn't show such care in front of everyone. "Or it's planning something," Drax said. "Humans are tricky. They pretend to accept their place while plotting against us. I assure you, Commander, Jun is harmless." Drax circled Jun like a hunter. "Is it? I studied humans. Their history is full of violence and rebellion. They never accept being ruled by others. Some of us learn to wait for the right time, Jun said suddenly. The room went completely silent. For a pet to speak without permission was bad enough. To say something that sounded like a threat was much worse. Drax's face darkened. You let your pet speak freely, Captain. No. Terry began. It was my fault, Jun said quickly. My human emotions got the best of me. Captain Terry punishes me when I speak out of turn. To Terry's horror, Jun held out the punishment remote that she had given him to hold earlier. She had not used it once since buying him. Drax took the remote. Perhaps I should show you how to properly control your pet. That's not necessary, Terry said, trying to keep her voice calm. But Drax had already pressed the button. Jun fell to his knees, his body shaking as the collar sent pain through him. His face twisted, but he made no sound. Terry felt sick. She wanted to stop it, but doing so would reveal too much. After what seemed like forever, Drax stopped the punishment. Remember, Captain, Drax said, handing back the remote. Pets are not friends. They are not equals. They are property. Never forget that. As Drax walked away, Terry helped Jun to his feet. Their eyes met for just a moment. In that look, they both knew that everything had changed. 3 days after the party, Terry was called to Commander Drax's office. The large room had no chairs for visitors. Everyone stood before Drax's huge desk. Captain Terry, Drax said without looking up from his screen. Your work has been lacking recently. Sir, Terry stood straight, her face calm though her heart beat fast. You missed meetings. Your reports are late. And most concerning. Now Drax looked at her. You seem overly attached to your pet. I don't know what you mean, sir. Drax pressed a button on his desk. A screen lit up on the wall. It showed Terry's home. In the video, she and Jun sat together reading. Their heads were close. They were laughing. How did you get this? Terry whispered. All officers' homes have security monitoring. For safety, of course. Drax smiled coldly. What I see here is not proper behavior with a pet. Terry felt cold all over. We were just. Spare me your excuses. Drax turned off the screen. I have enough evidence to report you for species betrayal. Species betrayal. The worst crime a Vesperin could commit. The punishment was death. What do you want? Terry asked, knowing Drax had not shown her this without a reason. Give me your human. Drax leaned forward. I've wanted to study one up close for a long time. My research could help us win the war. Your research. Terry knew what that meant. Pain. Cutting. Slow death. Yes, I'll even pay you for it. Drax's eyes gleamed. And this whole matter will disappear. Terry felt sick. And if I refuse, then I show the council this video and more like it. You will be executed. Your human will be given to me anyway. Drax shrugged. The choice seems simple. I need time to think, Terry said. You have 1 day. Drax waved his hand in dismissal. Now get out. Terry returned home in a daze. She found Jun in the garden area, looking at the strange purple plants. Something's wrong, he said as soon as he saw her face. Terry told him everything. For the first time, she didn't care about keeping secrets from him. He wants to experiment on me, Jun asked when she finished. Yes, and I can't stop him. Terry's voice broke. I'm sorry, Jun. I brought you into this. Jun was quiet for a long time. Then he said, there's something I need to tell you. He reached up and touched his ear. A small piece came off in his hand. What is that? Terry asked. A communication device. I've been in contact with other humans. Terry stepped back. You've been spying. No, just connecting. Jun looked sad. There are more humans here than you know. Some are pets like me. Some are workers in the mines. Some are test subjects in labs. And you've been talking to them. All this time. Yes. We have a plan to escape. to get back to human space. June stepped closer to her. "Come with us, Terry." "What?" Terry couldn't believe what she was hearing. "Leave this place. This society that puts people in boxes they can never escape. This world where caring for someone different is a crime." Terry shook her head. "I can't just leave. This is my home. My people. Your people would kill you for feeling what you feel for me." June took her hand. His skin was warm against hers. "Tell me you feel nothing, and I'll stop asking." Terry looked at their hands together, blue and pink, alien and human. Different, yet somehow right. "I can't tell you that," she whispered. "Then we need to make a choice," June said. "And we don't have much time." Terry spent the night thinking. By morning, she had made her choice. "I'll help you," she told June. "Not just to escape, but to free the others too." June's eyes widened. "Are you sure? You'll lose everything." "Not everything." Terry touched his hand. "Some things are worth more than rank or status." They made a plan quickly. Terry had access codes to the central holding facility, where new human captives were kept before being sold. She would use her officer codes to get them inside. Then June would contact the human resistance to help with escape ships. "What about Huma?" June asked. Terry hadn't thought about her servant. "What about her?" "We should ask if she wants to come." June's face was serious. No one should be left in a cage if they want freedom. Terry was surprised, but she agreed. When they asked Huna, the servant was shocked. "Leave Vespera. But where would I go? What would I do?" Huna looked scared. "You could be free," June said gently. "No more serving others. No more bowing and scraping." Huna thought for a long time. Then she shook her head. "I will help you, but I cannot leave. This is my home, even with its flaws." That night, Terry put on her full officer uniform. June wore dark clothes that wouldn't stand out. Huma gave them her access card to the servant passages, paths through the city that few higher-caste Vesperans knew about. "These will keep you away from security cameras," Huna explained. They moved through the quiet city. The 3 moons of Vespera cast purple shadows everywhere. They'd reached the central holding facility just before midnight. Terry used her codes to open the employee entrance. Inside, the halls were mostly empty. Night shift had few guards. "The human holding area is down there," Terry whispered, pointing down a long hall. They walked quickly, trying to look normal. Twice they had to hide from guards. Finally, they reached the human sector. "My authorization," Terry told the door guard, showing her ID. "Commander Drax wants a human for special study." The guard looked suspicious. "At this hour? Do you want to question the commander's orders?" Terry's voice was hard. "No, Captain." The guard stepped aside. Inside were dozens of holding cells. In each one, humans sat or lay on simple beds. Men, women, even some children, all wearing silver collars like June's. "So many," Terry whispered, horrified. She had never seen the inside of this place. June touched his ear device. "Mio, we're in. Begin phase 2. A woman's voice answered. "On our way." 10 minutes. They started opening cells. At first, the humans were afraid. Then they recognized June. "It's him," someone said. "The teacher." Soon all the cells were open. About 50 humans gathered in the main area. June quickly explained the plan. "We have ships coming. We'll..." Suddenly alarms blared. Red lights flashed. "What happened?" Terry asked. Before anyone could answer, the main door slid open. Commander Drax stood there with 6 armed guards. "Captain Terry." "Right on time." Drax smiled. "I knew you would try something foolish." "Run," June shouted to the humans. Chaos erupted. Humans ran in all directions. Guards fired stun weapons. People fell. Drax walked calmly toward Terry and June. "Did you really think I wouldn't be watching you after our talk?" "Let them go," Terry said. Your fight is with me. My fight is with all who betray our ways. Drax pulled out a real weapon, not a stunner. Starting with your pet. He aimed at June and fired. Terry didn't think. She jumped in front of June. The blast hit her in the chest. Pain exploded through her body. She fell, hearing June scream her name. Then darkness took her. Terry woke to a strange humming sound. Her chest hurt. The ceiling above her was not the smooth glass of her home. It was metal, with pipes and wires. She's awake, someone said. June's face appeared above her. His eyes were red, like he hadn't slept. Terry, can you hear me? Yes. She tried to sit up, but pain shot through her body. What happened? Where are we? On a human ship, heading to free space. June helped her sit up slowly. You've been asleep for 3 days. Memories came back. The holding facility. The humans. Drax. Drax shot me, she said. Yes, the weapon was set to kill, but your Vesperan body is stronger than he expected. June's voice shook. You almost died saving me. Terry looked around. The room was small. She was on a narrow bed. Medical equipment beeped nearby. The other humans, she asked. Most escaped. Some were captured. June looked sad. Miho's team arrived just after you were shot. They fought the guards and got us out. Where is Miho? I want to thank her. June smiled a little. She's the captain of this ship. But she's not happy you're here. As if on cue, the door opened. A human woman with short black hair entered. Her face was hard. So the Vesperan is awake, she said. This is Miho, Jones said. Miho, this is Terry. I know who she is. Miho crossed her arms, a soldier-cased officer, part of the system that enslaved our people. She saved my life, Jones said. She helped us escape. One good action doesn't erase a lifetime of being part of the problem. Miho's eyes were cold. Some of my crew want to throw her out an airlock. Terry met the woman's gaze. I understand their anger. Do you? Miho stepped closer. Do you understand what it's like to be taken from your home? To be treated like an animal? To watch your children sold as pets? No, Terry said honestly. I don't. I can't. But I want to learn. Miho studied her for a long moment. June says you're different, that you can change. She shook her head. I'm not convinced. But he saved my brother once, so I trust his judgment. After Miho left, Terry felt tired and confused. Your people hate me. They don't know you. June sat beside her. They only know what Vesperans have done to humans. And I am a Vesperan. You're more than that. June took her hand. You're the one who chose what was right over what was easy. Over the next few weeks, Terry slowly healed. The human ship traveled far from Vesperan space. Terry learned that they were heading to a secret human colony where escaped pets and their helpers lived. Some humans on the ship avoided her. Others watched her with suspicion. But some, especially the children she had helped free, treated her with curiosity and even kindness. One day, Terry stood in the ship's viewing room, looking at the stars. She wore simple human clothes now. Her officer uniform was gone. Having second thoughts, June asked, joining her. No. Terry touched her neck, where her rank rings used to be. She had removed them. But I wonder what happens next. We make a new life. June stood beside her. It won't be easy. Humans have good reason to fear Vesperans. And I have much to learn about being equal instead of superior. Terry turned to him. Do you think they'll ever accept me? Some will. Some won't. June smiled. But I accept you. I believe in you. He held out his hand. Terry took it, feeling the warmth of his skin against hers. Outside the window, stars streaked by as the ship carried them toward an uncertain future. But for the first time in her life, Terry felt truly free. Not because she had power or rank or status, but because she had chosen love over fear, freedom over control, and the hard path of change over the easy path of tradition.